Well, good afternoon. It's Tuesday, the 14th of May. I had to think for a second then. I thought I'd just show you around plot M12. It's been a long time. I think the last video I made was about the middle of March, something like that. So you'll probably see some changes in M12. Okay, I'll show you around. As we go into M12, you probably can see straight away that the alliums I got earlier on in the year are in flower now. They're very pretty indeed. And as you can see, there's bees and things on them now. So they're looking really pretty against the sort of greeny blue picket fence and a little sit down area we've got temporary. And there's our little blue shed. Yeah, so in this bed here on the left, we've got I've got little wooden pegs, and we've planted Pretty Woman tower lily at the back. We've got some Crazy Love dahlia in front. We've got some calendula in front of those. Another dahlia called Top Mix Red. Another dahlia behind that, and that one's called White. Let's have a look. And Nest, I think it is. And another lily at the back, another tower lily, and that is called Pretty Woman. And just below that branch there's another Top Mix Red dahlia there, and some more calendula seedlings showing through here. And there's a honeymoon tower lily there, amongst the established shrubs that are here. Okay, some pretty white flowers over there. I don't know what sort of varieties they are. As you can see, since March, the herb bed is doing really well. The scented lemon thyme, oh, it's lovely, is doing really well, as is the common thyme, and also the rosemary doing great as well. And at the back, we've got English lavender, which is doing brilliant. And at the back, in front of the picket fence, we've got common sage. So yeah, it looks rather pretty, doesn't it, the allium flowers. Right, in this bed here, we have, let's walk across this plank without falling. We've got in the far corner, we've got Jerusalem artichoke planted, and then we've got two plants here which are New Zealand orange ochre, and in front of those we have crimson flowered broad beans, which are doing great as well. There you go. And this little bed, the front of the bed here, Nick from Nick's Allotment Diary kindly gave me some small strawberry plants. As you can see, they're doing really well. They've got plenty of flowers on. But one of the best showings that I've had is this jungle to the right of me. It was the aquadulce broad beans, which I started off in October, and look at it now, it's huge. And I'll show you some of the beans that are on it already. There you go. There you can see it. And in there as well, it's just absolutely full of beans. But we did have some winds about 2 weeks ago, and that blew a lot of the flowers off, but the flowers had set, so there's little beans there as well, so that's doing okay. Look at that, it's huge, isn't it? There's two beds of aquadulce broad beans there. In this bed here, I've started putting sweet corn. I'm not sure what the variety is, it's unknown from home. I just found an old damaged packet with the seeds in, but they took, and brought some of them down. So there'll be sweet corn, in this bed, sweet corn in this section, and here I put a wigwam up, and going to be runner beans in that section. In this bed here, we've got fennel romano. But something's been at the fennel. Two of the plants have been got at, eaten in some way by something, I don't know. But as long as they leave me a few plants, I'm not bothered about that. I don't want to be starting putting pesticides and things like that. In this bed is the old-fashioned vegetable, which was the salsify, which I've tried, and I started these off as seeds in back end of March, and I planted them up probably about a week ago now, so hopefully they'll be okay. There's no sign of any damage to them, so that's okay. Over here we've got 3 rows of Casablanca first early potatoes. They're doing okay. And if you remember, this was one of the beds that had the field manure in. And there's another look at the broad beans, Ecuadorshi. You can see a bean there as well. Look at that. So yeah, we've got 3 rows of Casablanca in this bed. Sorry about the wind noise. In this bed here, we've got Charlotte second early potatoes. So they're doing great as well. That was also field manure in that bed, which was the field beans. I'm looking back towards the broad beans again. I've got some more news. I'll tell you what, I'll take you around there now. This plot here below M12 is called M15. I have just taken over this plot, so there's plenty of work to be getting on with in this plot as well. As well as this plot, I've got M12, and over there you can see M9, and I've just finished trimming S6, which is my little orchard. It's got about 3 fruit trees, it's about 30 or 40 feet from here. But yes, I've taken over this plot as well. What I like about this plot is I love the shed. Look at that shed, it's got like a little lean-to over the front edge of it, and we can get one of these chairs underneath there, and that should be great. And if you notice, there's like a wigwam type structure on the back. Well, they've got grape growing up that, and yeah, there's plenty of leaves showing on the grape, so hopefully that will climb up that wigwam and go along the roof space of the lean-to section of the shed. So yeah, so I'm happy about that, taking over that plot as well. Right, so the garlic, I've got about 4 different varieties of garlic. As you can see, they're all doing really well. A little bit of weeding needs doing, but we'll get round to it. Got that much to do now with these extra plots. I was concerned a while back about the red onions being slow, but to be honest, they've really caught up with the white onions. So that's the onions, and they're doing really well. In this bed here, this was green manure in this little section here, so I've dug all that in a couple of weeks back, and now what I've done is I had modules of leeks, Musselburgh leeks. So what I'm going to do as an experiment, as you can see here, they're sort of kept together, and I'm going to grow them together like that, so just to see as an experiment. So there's clusters of leeks, and 2 rows of leeks there, just as an experiment, just to see if they're quite happy growing together like that. And because I've acquired this plot M15, from this point of this bed just here will be a path. I will roll the chicken wire back to behind the shed, sorry, you can just see that chicken wire there, and this path will continue and join up with the path that's already in M15. The rest of this bed, which was dug in about 3 weeks ago of green manure, which was the field beans, this will be, what was it, butternut squash, and maybe a wigwam in this corner of cobra beans, and along the front courgettes. So there'll be the yellow courgette, I don't know what the variety's name is, and I think it's zucchini, the other variety that I'll be growing in this little section. Yeah. I haven't spotted is it Touchwood or Touchstone? I can't remember. Catweasel's toad. I haven't seen him for some time, so obviously that was his living quarters during the winter, underneath that little slab there, which is nestled in amongst the nettles. So yeah, so that's about it for M12. So there's the continuation of M15, which takes you down to the bottom about 40 or 50 foot that way. There's M9, you can see some comfrey growing pretty well in there as well. M12, and right over there towards the woods, the other side of the fence where I've just trimmed, is the little orchard with 3 fruit trees in. One's Golden Delicious, one's Cox Pippin, and the other is Czar Plum. Okay then, so I'll say bye for now, and hopefully I won't leave it as long next time between videos. Okay, bye for now.